Shalom. I was sent a request to make some biscuits. So today we're going to make some light, fluffy biscuits you can get up and make any morning for your family. Takes a few minutes and they'll love you for it. Okay, so we're going to preheat the oven to 420. So we need 2 cups of flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of sugar, 3/4 cup of milk, and 1/3 cup of cold, very cold butter. This is 1/3 cup of butter. That's 6 tablespoons. Now what I do is I grate it. It has to be very cold. Usually I leave it in the freezer, take it out and grate it. And the reason I do this is because I'm handling the butter less. The more you handle the butter with your hands, it's going to get soft. We want the butter to be as cold as possible. You can cut it up into little small pieces, but and then once you cut it up, put it back in the freezer and let it get settled, let it get hard again. On the butter packs today, you know that it's blocked off, so it will show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1/3 cup. If you don't want butter, you can use shortening, which is like Crisco, because it's a solid shortening. And you can use that instead to cut that into your flour. Works well too. I personally like butter. We have 2 cups of, I use unbleached all-purpose flour or bread flour, usually all-purpose flour. If you have bleached flour, that's fine too. You can use that. My tablespoon of sugar, pour it in there. Teaspoon of salt. Tablespoon of baking powder. And we're just going to mix all of that into your flour. Now, we want to start working our butter into our flour. We want the flour and the butter to come together in crummy kind of consistency, kind of like, like crumbs. When you feel it with your hands, you'll feel like little pebbles. And we're going to mix that in with the fork. And because I break mine up, you can use a fork, or if you have a pastry cutter, you can just use your pastry cutter. Cut that right into your flour. And because I grate it, it's already in small pieces, so it doesn't take much to get my butter down to pea size. So once I do that, now I'm going to add my 3/4 cup of milk right in there. And I'm using almond milk. You can use regular milk, but I'm using almond milk, and I use non-dairy butter. And you can use regular butter. So I want to get this all mixed together. Okay, our dough is nice and sticky. We're going to put it out on a floured surface. Sprinkle a little flour over top of it. So now we can work the dough. We're going to knead it a little and get all of the butter mixed in there well. A lot of it's still sticking on my hands, but so we're going to press it out, and we're going to fold it over. I'm going to press it, fold it over. Do this about 5 or 6 times. This is how you get your layers. That was 4. This is the last time. I'll round it up a little bit so I could press it out pretty even. And you can use a glass to cut it with, whatever you have, but I use my biscuit cutter. All right, so we start with our biscuit cutter and start from the edge. You see the little flakes in there, ridges. We're going to also put it on the pan a little close to each other, because that also helps it rise. I can get one more right there. Bring your pieces together. Bring the dough together, a little bit of flour, press it out. And I always turn it over just one more time, that's me. Press out 2 more. And this one you can just make a little small Play-Doh biscuit, I call it. Now I let this rest on top of the oven for about 10 minutes. That's just me, what I do, because I was handling it so much. And then after that, I stick it in my 420-degree oven for anywhere from 13 to 16 minutes, closer to 16, depending on your oven, how hot it gets. Check it, and then we'll be back. 10 minutes has passed, so now I'm going to set my pan, center of the oven. Okay, so 16 minutes has went by, and we're taking our biscuits out the oven, and as you see, now the biscuits have those flakes. This is hot, so I can't really break it apart right now. So now you have your nice hot biscuits early in the morning, just buttered with some jam, with some honey. It's all yours.